Buongiorno a tutti, benvenuti al nostro nuovo webinar. Io mi chiamo Giorgia Balbis e sono Technical and Sales Specialist in ActiveBox. Quest'oggi ho il piacere di condurre questo webinar che parlerà, come potete vedere dal titolo, di estremofili, con il nostro fornitore coreano Labio e in particolare con Curtis Kang, che è il direttore di Sales and Marketing. Hello Curtis.
Hello,
Hello.
buongiorno.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Thanks for joining our webinar today. And please, if you want, you can introduce yourself to our customer. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Curtis Kang. I have been in cosmetic industry for about 15 years now, and I'm honored to introduce the new biotechnology today. That's it.
Ok, thank you very much. Tra l'altro, ecco, vi ricordo che per tutta la durata del webinar, quindi fino alla fine del webinar, potete scaricare la brochure aggiornata di Labio che si trova nella dashboard in basso a destra. Ok. Partiamo quindi con la spiegazione, insomma, di questi estremofili. Saprete che per estremofili si intende tutta quella serie di microrganismi in grado di vivere e soprattutto di sopravvivere a condizioni ambientali molto particolari, possiamo dire estreme, anche molto diverse tra di loro. Per esempio ci può essere una pressione molto elevata, una calore o temperature molto basse, una disidratazione intesa come assenza ovviamente di acqua, una concentrazione abnorme di sali per esempio, un pH quasi incompatibile con la vita e radiazione se pensiamo ad esempio all'ambiente dello spazio. Ecco, questi microrganismi per poter sopravvivere a queste condizioni ambientali hanno ovviamente sviluppato dei meccanismi di per esempio riparazione del DNA molto efficienti e produzione di determinate sostanze, in particolare enzimi e altre molecole particolari dal punto di vista chimico che gli consentono appunto di sopravvivere e resistere a queste situazioni ambientali. I metaboliti nella fattispecie di questa tipologia di microrganismi prendono il nome di estremoliti e hanno molto valore aggiunto, hanno un'importanza perché sono molto studiati e interessanti non solo dal punto di vista cosmetico ma in realtà anche nel campo medicale e nel campo del food per esempio. Chiaramente se queste molecole chimiche vengono traslate a livello cutaneo, quindi parlando di settore cosmetico, possiamo vedere dai numerosi studi che sono presenti in letteratura che promuovono davvero il benessere della pelle. Quindi sono appunto rappresentano un valore aggiunto che possiamo inserire all'interno delle formulazioni e questo grazie appunto alla presenza di questi metaboliti che sono presenti poi anche nell'ingrediente finito chiaramente come per esempio i carotenoidi che abbiamo riportato qui perché se vedete un po' in letteratura sono tra gli estremoliti più studiati e i carotenoidi sono presenti anche ad esempio nel nostro ingrediente che vedremo tra poco, The First, che ci presenterà tra poco Curtis e si tratta appunto di molecole che vengono prodotte dai microrganismi per difendersi, per resistere, soprattutto quando questi microrganismi sono sottoposti a radiazioni, per esempio radiazioni UV e hanno quindi bisogno di queste molecole per difendere il proprio DNA, per attuare un'azione di scavenging. In commercio esistono già chiaramente numerosi prodotti che in generale utilizzano ingredienti derivati da estremofili. Come vedete, quando ho riportato qualcuno, si tratta anche di marche famose, per esempio a Decem, e sono prodotti cosmetici dedicati principalmente al discorso anti-aging, proprio per sfruttare al massimo la capacità di questi ingredienti di attuare una skin regeneration, appunto uno skin recovery e quindi trovano ovviamente particolare applicazione nell'ambito dell'anti-age. In realtà vedrete che oggi parleremo anche di ingredienti che non sono impiegabili nell'ambito appunto anti-age, ma anche per esempio molto impattanti per quanto riguarda l'aumento dell'idratazione cutanea o il brightening. e vedrete che presentiamo un nuovo ingrediente oggi, presenterà Curtis un nuovo ingrediente che si chiama Stratoker, dedicato al controllo del sebo, quindi comunque abbiamo anche delle applicazioni un po' diverse rispetto al mondo dell'aging. Ecco, qui abbiamo voluto dare un po' un taglio diverso, una proposta in termini di comunicazione del prodotto, in quanto questi ingredienti estremofili sono anche molto impiegati, possono essere molto impiegati per supportare la cute anche in questo momento molto particolare di cambiamenti ambientali. Perché la nostra cute ovviamente è soggetta a questa tipologia di cambiamenti che è molto impattante per la pelle, possono ecco, dare una maggiore sensibilità, possono alterare delle strutture cellulari, pensiamo all'elastina, quindi alla produzione di elastina di collagene data da questa alterazione a livello delle proteine ovviamente dare anche delle problematiche a livello della funzione immunitaria. Quindi utilizzare ingredienti come gli estremofili all'interno delle formulazioni sicuramente può dare un valore aggiunto al cosmetico e quindi una maggiore protezione alla pelle e rigenerazione. Entriamo quindi nel cuore del nostro webinar, qui il nostro Product Launch Pack, quindi gli ingredienti derivanti da estremofili presenti nel portfolio di Labio. Parleremo infatti di The First come attivo che ha queste proprietà particolari antiossidanti, antinfiammatorie, test nello specifico sulla anti-blue light, azione whitening e anti-rughe chiaramente. Parleremo di Antarctic C, che invece è un ingrediente che per tutte le questioni legate all'ambiente in cui si trova l'estremofilo alla sua origine ha proprietà brightening e di idratazione molto spiccata. Desertica, che invece come suggerisce il nome appunto deriva da questo microrganismo in grado di sopravvivere al clima del deserto con proprietà anti-aging e di protezione dal danno UV e il nostro nuovo ingrediente Stratoker dedicato appunto come vi avevo anticipato a una trouble skin care e quindi a controllo del sebo nello specifico. Okay, so please, Curtis, now is your turn. So please introduce your best ingredients in terms of extremophile. Thank you.
Labio is our company is named from the laboratory of biotechnology, and that's why its name is Labio. And our logo is explaining what we are doing is microorganisms, various types of the microorganism, and especially we focus on the extremophile. So I think Georgia already explained about some types of the extremophiles today, and yes, those 4 are kind of the representative of our ingredients, and they are all from the different types of the extreme circumstance. Extremophile is the microorganism in living in and survived in the extreme circumstance, and the reason we focus on those types of extremophile is because they have been evolved in a way to survive in this kind of the extreme circumstance by producing specific metabolite. That's kind of the secret how they survive in this extreme circumstance. And we're gonna use this metabolite in cosmetic world because in cosmetics we cannot use the living microorganism and we need specific and unique metabolite. And today I will explain from the first, which is the microorganism from the space. So there's a space, desert, and different types of the extremophile today. And the first one is the first is about the Deinococcus radiodurans, which is the space originated microorganism. So the NASA conducted some tests about the origin about the microorganism, and they sent some microorganism from the Earth to the spaceship in the space condition, which microorganism can survive. They checked that kind of things, and the conclusion was there's a strong possibility that they this Deinococcus radiodurans could be originated from the space. That's why we call it origin in space. Actually, the other types of origin we can confirm very clearly, but like a space origin, it's not easy to conclude 100%. But we just try to follow some statement from the NASA, like some conclusion, possible conclusions. So we call it origin is space. And the region how they survive in the space condition under the severe UV and the direct sunlight and no oxygen. There's a severe condition in space, as you know. These microns could regenerate their DNA very quickly, and so they could be registered on Guinness World Record as the most radiation-resistant life form. So it is a very famous microorganism in astrology, but not just used in cosmetic world yet. So Labio has registered this Deinococcus radiodurans in the cosmetic world, registered in PCPC, and started to use it in cosmetic for the first time. Okay. Yeah, this is the kind of the journal I mentioned. The NASA conducted the study about maybe most expensive in vitro test in the world. They sent some microorganism in the spaceship and checked if any microorganism can survive under this space condition. And they released the journal after conducting this study. So you can refer to this journal in the website. Maybe in the googling you can find this journal and see the detailed content about this experiment. And among these tests, besides we could, there's a steps of the sterilization. We could check we can kill simply the microorganism by doing the sterilization, and that's why how we make the canned meat or canned food. And usually all the microorganisms can die during this process, but these Deinococcus radiodurans cannot be killed in this kind of the process. You can see their DNA is restructuring within just 4 hours, 100% completely going back. So that's how they use their actually carotenoid inside. They use their specific carotenoid named the phytoin or deinoxanthin, which is a very genuine carotenoid from the Deinococcus. They use this type of a specific carotenoid to restructuring their DNA. So that's why they are very different from the usual microorganisms, comparing with the other microorganisms all died. And the issue is how to use this in cosmetics. The carotenoid is very unstable material in cosmetic world, especially for the color and the odor. That kind of issue is not stable. So Labio's fermentation process patented for conducting this kind of and maintain this kind of stability. So you can see after fermentation, we could diminish the color. So our patent is about colorless carotenoid, colorless phytoin. So, and how to stabilize them. And we have the patent about encapsulation about this carotenoid as well. In this product, we use the colorless carotenoid by dragging the phytoin from the Deinococcus and maintain this stability to use it in cosmetic world. And this Deinococcus radiodurans ferment extract is giving some blue light protection. That's very natural function, considering how they have been survived in the space condition, in the direct sunlight condition. So they can protect themselves from the direct sunlight, which is damaging their DNA. They can restructuring and protecting them. So we use this condition and comparing with just the filtration, and we could see that it can give our double effect about the blue light protection. So it's like just a protection against the radiation. and that's how they registered on GNS as well. So this is just the in vitro test, but eventually it is to set the concentration, how much we need to use in clinical test. So it's just a step how we set the concentration of the Deinococcus. Okay, and this one is very strong with the antioxidation basically, and that's how they have been survived also. And this antioxidation is reaching to the level of the whitening as well. So you can see the whitening test in vitro when comparing with the alpha-arbutin. We could see that the melanin content has been quite lowered by using this Deinococcus ferment extract. And also, yeah, the main test we have conducted about the in vitro test is actually how they repair their DNA. That's the main function we're gonna use in cosmetics. We check the DREAM system test, which is a DNA repairing test, which is also registered patented test for the DNA restructuring. And we conducted a test by using the Deinococcus extract, and it is helping human DNA restructuring. And also it is protecting human DNA mutant process. So they interfere any mutant, and they have any mutant to be treated in the normal way. So we checked both tests with a dimer dot blood is for the DNA mutant test, and the DNA restructuring test by DREAM system. So actually we conducted this similar kind of a test with the other material by using our other material in our lab. And this Deinococcus ferment extract is showing the best result in terms of the DNA repairing and mutant protection. So it's partly because of their specific carotenoid, which is a deinoxanthine and phytoin. Now it is stabilized in colorless type. So that's the main reason. And the good thing is that we are not just saying the story, but we measure this kind of the contents of the inside core material and specify them in our production mat as well, just for reference. And you can see that this clinical test has been conducted. That's the main actually test. Before then, we checked if any in vitro test is showing the proper concentration about to conduct the clinical test, and we could see that this Deinococcus ferment extract, which is the colorless carotenoid, can be used in anti-aging basically, because carotenoid has been used in the many types of whitening or anti-wrinkles, that kind of types. So we just actually set the project like that to use it in this carotenoid into the anti-aging factors. So we conducted the test with 22 tests for 4 weeks for the 5 types of the 5 parts of the face, to see if it is helping for the anti-wrinkles. But today I will show some abstract of this test, not the full report, but you can ask for the full report with all 5 parts of the face with the active box. And the test has been done with the 3% concentration of the first. This part is showing about the crow's feet, in which is the side part of the eye, which is the maybe deepest wrinkle factor. You know, we checked the test with the under eye, crow's feet, and the forehead, smile line, and the angry line, frowning. You know, we checked the 5 parts, and among those all parts, the crossfit is the deepest linker. So in the crossfit factors, we checked about 23.4 point reduction of the wrinkles. So this is not small result, not small figures, considering it is the very deep linker. Like the other parts, like on the eye, that can be shown in the better way. And this part is more than 20% on the crossfit is a really good result, we think. Comparing with our other, we have many other ingredients, and we check this kind of test for the crossfit, and this is one of the best result for the crossfit. And you can see that we conducted a test comparing with the placebo, with the same person with the other side of the face. This one is showing about the smile line, which is the right on the nose, right side and left side of the nose and to the mouth. And we could see that and compare it with the placebo and the first line with the 3%. And it shows about 30% of the difference comparing with the left and right. So personally, I'm not sure what happened after the test, but I believe we give the another formulation to turning it back to the even state. But anyway, we made 30% of the difference from right side and left side. And this one is showing the forehead, which is the forehead over the eyes part. And forehead part, there's about 22% of the difference made. But this one is after 2 weeks and 4 weeks. At the first time, the same for every part. It shows about a dramatic change in first 2 weeks and like a gradual change and after that week. So it is showing the good result for the forehead as well. And for the this test, it shows. Let me check. Yeah, that's another summary about the clinical test, and it shows about 20 to 30% of the wrinkle reduction for 3% by using the 3% of the first. And it shows comparing to our other anti-wrinkle tests conducted by Labio, I think it is very good result. And there's another test to use it in cooling, checking the cooling test. We conducted the same test with the cooling effect, because this test is about anti-metabolism, basically, because it is strong. It shows a strong anti-oxidation by using the carotenoid, so we can lessen the heat impact. So it means for the anti-heat, anti-aging, so anti-heat factors. So we comparing with the applied situation and non-applied situation, and the difference was about almost 2 Celsius degree difference. It is dropping the from the about 2 point, and it shows about average 2 Celsius degree of the decrease in temperature. So you can see the difference before and after. I mean, comparing with the placebo and the first. So it's like a left side and right side with the placebo and the first. So it shows a little difference comparing with it, and placebo side and the first side is the difference was about 2 Celsius degree.
Sorry.
The first is it's based on the microorganism from the Extremophiles. So, and we named and registered this Deinococcus ferment extract filtrate in PCPC by Labio. So we are the first to use this specific metabolite and the microorganism. This is it is preserved with the 1,2-hexanediol, and the solvent we use is the butylene glycol. So that's just a simple names, and it's like a very natural based ingredient by using the microenzyme. In China, Confucian's name is a little different because they have the family name of the micrococcus, which is original Deinococcus, but anyway, there's no scientific difference. So this Deinococcus is a microorganism living in space, originated by using their carotenoid inside. We try to use it in anti-aging and anti-heat, the kind of the factors in cosmetic world. And it is a water-soluble ingredient, and you can use it for the anti-aging formulation like that.
Okay, thanks Curtis. Just a little summary in Italian. Curtis ci ha spiegato, ci ha appena spiegato The First che è un ingrediente molto interessante, come avete visto deriva dal Deinococcus radiodurans, quindi questo microrganismo capace di resistere alle radiazioni presenti nello spazio, e quindi grazie al processo poi di fermentazione è possibile utilizzare questo ingrediente finale ricco in carotenoidi, che come ha spiegato Curtis non vanno a colorare la formula. Si tratta di carotenoidi modificati che consentono poi di non avere le caratteristiche colorate. Questo è un punto di forza chiaramente di The First, e è molto impiegato questo ingrediente in prodotti anti-aging, come abbiamo visto anche per l'efficacia data dai test. Infatti i prodotti in commercio, questi sono dati confidenziali chiaramente che ci arrivano dalla lab, insomma ci sono prodotti in commercio che utilizzano già ovviamente The First, e sono principalmente prodotti anti-aging, soprattutto dedicati al contorno occhi, perché avete visto che lavora molto molto bene in questa zona specifica, ma anche creme viso, chiaramente generali, anti-age, dedicate diciamo a un invecchiamento problematico, quindi sono insomma per un trattamento intensivo. E è anche utilizzato all'interno di prodotti solari, proprio per la sua capacità di proteggere ulteriormente la cute. Ok, please Curtis.
Yep. The next one is Antarctic G, which is the microorganism from Antarctica. As you can see, the name is from Antarctica, which is the coldest area from the Earth. No, the Antarctica is I don't need to explain maybe about how cold it is, but it's Antarctica is the coldest area in Earth. Is in lowest region it's like a -70, and in average temperature is like -30. So even comparing with the North Pole, it's much colder than North Pole. So, and the bad thing about Antarctica is the ozone layer is very thin there. So that's why the UV radiation is the strongest also, while it's the coldest. So thanking to this kind of the, owing to this kind of the strong sunlight, there's a much dry climate is occupying, and it's almost like a desert. So it's drying, and UV is strong, means DNA damage is strong, and the temperature is very lowest. That's a very extreme condition for any life form to survive. And under this kind of the condition, there are not many big life form is living in, but there are some microorganisms living. And for protection of themselves about microorganisms, they have been evolved in a way to survive by making some filtration of the DNA. For the protection of the DNA, they made some filtration of the sunlight by using their expolysaccharide, which is a kind of the coating material of the microorganism, and they use moisturizing. It's like similar like a cactus in the desert. They keep their moisturizing by glyceryl glucoside inside. So we selected the Pseudoaltomonas and Pseudogymma antarctica, two microorganism species in Antarctica, because they have a good good way to use their glycerol glucoside and expolysaccharide. So we're gonna use those kind of the metabolite they produce. Glycerol glucoside is the main material produced by Pseudoartomonas, and there's a way of how to synthesize this glucoside, but this one is produced by microorganism, which is 100% natural. And also expolysaccharide, mainly produced by Pseudogema antarctica. We're gonna use them, their way of producing this expolysaccharide, which is helping them to filtrate the UV, which is damaging DNA, and which is helping their brightening effect in our cell as well. So we're gonna use those glycerol glucoside and expolysaccharide mainly produced by 2 microorganisms, and it will have our moisturizing and brightening. And this is how we do the fermentation and how we get the patent about those microorganisms processing. And mainly it's like we are setting the circumstance like Antarctica. We call them a process kind of as a cold shock. So when we start the fermentation, it's growing growth. Cultivation is showing there's a good growth of the microorganism, but at the sudden stage, we start giving the cold shock, and they stop the growth. Instead, they use their energy into the production of the metabolite. So we focus on the metabolite production rather than just the growth of the microorganism. In this way, we can get more glycerol glucoside and expolysaccharide. So same for Pseudoartomonas and Pseudogema antarctica. We give the cold shock, and this is showing how we setting the circumstance for same like Antarctica, and this is showing why we focus on the microorganisms production of the metabolite rather than just the microorganism itself. You can see the also same case for the Pseudogema antarctica, and this is why it is different from the cultivation. The fermentation itself is not just the cultivation. Fermentation is the concept comprising of the metabolite production. So you can see before and after fermentation, we have there's no glycerol glucoside before fermentation, but after fermentation, you can see the peak of the glycerol glucoside. So unless there is no threat about their life from the circumstance, the microorganism doesn't have a reason to produce, the metabolite, because those metabolite is the evidence of the evolution in their specific circumstance. So that's why we give the cold shock, same like the Antarctica. Same for the expolysaccharide. They don't have a reason to produce this protection, like a filtering material for them. They are coating material, otherwise, unless there is a threat from the outside. So those expolysaccharide composed with the galactose and glucose and mannose, and they produce those material under the threat of the cold situation. By producing their kind of those material, we made a product by using Antarctic G, by using these 2 microorganisms ferment extract, and to check if it is helping for decreasing the melanin synthesis, and we checked it is showing the similar to when we use the 3% comparing with the alpha-arbutin. And also we checked if it is helping for the moisturizing. Moisturizing is a kind of the process, a proven process by using the aquaporin. So we checked the aquaporin 3 water channel expression is increasing by adding more Antarctic G. And also eventually it is helping for the synthesis of the hyaluronic acid. So by checking the Hackett cell line, and we confirm that about 3% is the proper concentration. This is kind of the process how we set the proper concentration to use it in clinical test. So it's a first step of the clinical test. And from this in vitro test, you can see there's a ceiling effect when it reaches to the 3%. So there is a not big difference between 3 and 5%. So it means 3% is the proper concentration we can suggest. So, and we go into the clinical by using this 3% into the formulation. So we conducted the clinical with the 20 females for the 4 weeks to check the moisturizing and brightening effect by using the 3% of the anti-tick G. And short-term moisturizing and long-term moisturizing test has been conducted. And the short-term moisturizing with the 12 hours, it shows about 30% of the difference comparing with the placebo and anti-tick G. In short-term test was like that, and the long-term, which is like a 4 weeks test, we show we check the water distribution improvement, and the difference was about 40%. So in the long term, it is getting a larger difference. You can see the about 1 or 2 examples from this test, but this is just the abstract. So you can see all 20 people's result by asking it to the active box. You can get it the full report always. And this showing about the brightness also test. We bring the 2 examples also here. And but brightening is not like 20% or 40% like that, but it will be very dangerous if the result is like that. So in brightening, it shows about the skin tone has been improved about 4%, 4.24% from the 4 weeks. So it's gradually changing and improving the skin tones in the very safe kind of the figures, in the safer process and safer time processing. So it shows about the test about using the 3% of the anti-tick G, and so our recommendation is 3%. And we focus on the metabolite production, and it's not just a story, but we measure glycerol glucoside. You can see the marker compound here. We check the contents of the glycerol glucoside and set them in the spec. So you can see that it is managed and under spec condition. And these microorganisms with the composed with 2 microorganisms. So the inky name is the Pseudogyma antarctica and Pseudoartomonas both. And water and 1,2-hexanediol has been used for the preservation. So there are nothing else than microorganism. You can see in the first and this anti-tick G. Mostly sometimes there's solvent like a propylene glycol or some other types of the propanediol, but mostly there are not other chemicals. It's just a microorganism fermented extract mainly. And we use them by using their core material like a glycerol glucoside or carotenoid inside.
Ok, thanks Curtis. Abbiamo appena visto anche Antarctic G che come vi avevo anticipato all'inizio è dedicato non solo all'ambito dell'anti-age chiaramente, ma anche proprio all'azione idratante e brightening, ovviamente legata all'azione sul discorso della melanina. Il discorso qui è ovviamente dato dal fatto che la fermentazione consente di andare a aumentare e amplificare la presenza dei metaboliti, gliceril-glucoside e dell'esopolisaccaride, che rispettivamente appunto sono poi responsabili di questa attività idratante e illuminante. Questo perché proprio la fermentazione, questo processo biotecnologico consente proprio di ottenere alla fine degli ingredienti che hanno delle funzioni superiori rispetto all'ingrediente di partenza, e anche dell'efficacia che spesso non possono essere diciamo vantate dall'ingrediente iniziale. In questo caso, grazie alla presenza dei composti, sicuramente abbiamo una spiccata azione appunto idratante e anche illuminante, e come vedete applicabile in prodotti skin ma anche per il corpo, perché no?
Thanks for the summary. And the next one is a microorganism from the desert, and yeah, that's also kind of another extreme circumstance that we can imagine. Desertica is based on the microorganism, but this time is green microalgae. Unlike the other types of life form, this green microalgae is similar like a plant. So it was this about Senedismus deserticola, which is registered in 2004, quite very latest green microalgae. And the funny thing is that this green microalgae means like they do the photosynthesis, but how they have been doing that in desert, because there's no water. So this is secret how they developed their photosynthesis in desert. At the first time, it was found in California desert. Senedismus deserticola is their academic name, as you can see. Is at the first time, originally in 2004, they isolated from desert soil surface in California. But this doesn't mean that we are getting the source every time when you produce from California, but it's not like that we do the cultivation in Korea. At the first time, the isolation was California. And the good thing is about Desertica is they are green microalgae, means they do the photosynthesis, means they produce oxygen, they consume CO2. So it's similar like a planting tree. If we produce more Desertica, it means like it's good for the earth because it's like a planting tree. So they use consume the water and CO2 and also sunlight. That's kind of the main source of this plant. You know, this green microalgae is same like a plant, so that's very eco-friendly source to use it in cosmetics. And we have our cultivation site to produce this green microalgae. We call it like a very it is patented system to produce the green microalgae. It requires a very small space comparing to the other types of the like a tree or other types of the plant source. We just use some pipeline by using the UV radiations, inner UV radiation pipe. So that's how they have been patented by using specific pipe for the green microalgae cultivation. And it's very good for the earth. Like I said, we use the CO2 and produce oxygen by using this type of the cultivation lab. And if we use this ingredient, this ingredient has been like evolved and survived in the desert. Means they are very strong against the UV and temperature because it's from desert. So by checking all types of the in vitro tests regarding UV tolerance or temperature stability, it shows the good result comparing to the other types of the usual liquid type of the ingredient. Yes, this is about the temperature stability, like I explained. It's a thermostability. Is showing in any types of the. This is 1 month, 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, and during the long-term tests about the high temperature condition, there's no difference about the stability. So this one is very strong against the this temperature change and the UV irradiation state. And under this kind of the strong DNA damaging condition in desert, they have been trying to be similar like I think this, you can imagine cactus in desert. It will be very easy to understand. Cactus in desert, they protect themselves by moisturizing circulation system and making a good surface, similar like a Deserticola. Deserticola has been small type of the cactus, so they have been survived in desert like the cactus. And we conducted the test by using this Synedesmus Deserticola ferment extract, which is the green microalgae. But one of the weakness of green microalgae is they have a green color. So that's why we don't try not to use too much concentration. And among the other clinical tests, we mostly use the 3%, but this time it is like a 1% for each type of the formulation only, considering its color is a little green. So when we check how they get rid of their DNA damaging situation, we checked how they did it, and we tried to compare it with if it is helping for the soothing effect, because it's like a DNA damaging condition, getting out of the DNA damaging condition. So when you compare the test with the condition with the 1% formulation with the UV induced skin irritation, we checked that there is about 20% improvement before and after 4 weeks. I mean, 4 weeks test comparing with the placebo and Desertica. There was about 20% difference comparing with the placebo. And this it is kind of the also moisturizing and anti-irradiation condition they try to give. And by checking the dermal density, which is about the elasticity, means actually it's linked with the moisturizing as well. So they can give the soothing effect and the elasticity increasing effect. By checking dermal density, we could see that there's about also 20% of the increase after 4 weeks of the dermal density, which is also helping for the anti-wrinkle, about 8%. So yeah, frankly, I can say for the factor about the anti-wrinkles, we checked with some 50 years old age females with 20 people, comparing with the 50 years old, 40 years old. There's some comparison into the detailed clinical report, but I have to admit that for the anti-wrinkle effect, for that kind of factors, the first, which one I explained in the first page, was better than this Desertica. But Desertica shows a good elasticity increasing, so it's good for the soothing effect. And the first was showing the better effect for the anti-wrinkles.
Okay, nice to know.
Sometimes we have to compare our ingredient in the same factors. So yeah, that's why I just explained it very frankly. And this one, Desertica, has been extracted by using the butylene glycol solvent. And just for reference, we have other version like using. There are some customers doesn't like butylene glycol, so we have in that case have the propanediol version extraction solvent we use for the. So we call that Desertica P. So this one is Desertica, and we have other version of the Desertica in replacing butylene glycol into propanediol, just for reference. And this Desertica came from the desert, showing the soothing effect, how they survive in the desert condition, and how they kept alive under this kind of a circumstance. So it gives some. It can be used for the like after shaving or other types of the soothing, and that kind of the creams after DNA damaging creams, or that kind of the UV damage recovery situation. Our recommendation is 1 to 3%. It has a little greenish color, but it's not affecting to the full formulation if you keep using under 3%.
Ok, thanks for the explanation, Curtis. Come avete visto, Desertica appunto invece deriva da quest'alga appunto verde che riesce a sopravvivere a condizioni climatiche del deserto e come referenza da mercato posso dirvi che questo prodotto viene utilizzato anche per il suo aspetto, per la sua capacità idratante, come ci suggeriva anche Curtis, e infatti si trova all'interno di prodotti idratanti, di creme idratanti e è anche utilizzato all'interno di correttori, per esempio, proprio per funzionalizzare con un'azione idratante che spesso viene sinergizzata dalla presenza di acido ialuronico, quindi abbiamo questa sinergia che può essere sfruttata in questa tipologia di prodotti. Questo è adatto, come abbiamo visto, per lo skin, body, sun, ma anche hair care. Ok, Curtis, is the turn of Stratocare as the newest ingredient.
Yeah. We have the final one, which is a Stratocare, which is from the sky. So we get it, microorganism from space, Antarctica, and desert. Now it's about sky.
Sky.
So it's not just the sky, but stratosphere is the origin kind of the space, which is the stratosphere is the high level of the sky. You know, our level of the sky when we look up the sky, and it's troposphere, but the stratosphere is the kind of the space where the airplane is flying over 10 kilometers to 50 kilometers height. So it's we can simply say it's high level of the sky, and there's a difference from troposphere and stratosphere. You know, sometimes the reason why the airplane is flying the stratosphere over 10 kilometers is because the vision is much clearer there. You know, that's the main reason, and there's no turbulence, so we can eat something during the flight when we go into the stratosphere level. So and we're gonna see why this stratosphere is not dirty like the troposphere, because there's no cloud, no vision blocking, but the bad thing is there's no oxygen comparing with the troposphere. But anyway, that high sky is much cleaner than low level of the sky, and that's why airplane is flying. And one of the secret why that high level of sky is very clean is because there's a cleaner named Bacillus stratosphericis. So that's our target. We're gonna use this microorganism from the sky, and this microorganism is consuming oil debris and nitrogen oxide, and yes, they are cleaner. They consume pollutant material in the high level of the sky, and they use that into their energy source. So we're gonna use this microorganism to consume that kind of the similar pollutant material in our facial level. So, and the mechanism how they use consume that kind of the pollutant is they use their surfactant, their metabolite. They produce surfactant to change the property of the pollutant into the stages of an energy source. So this surfactant is trying to degrade the pollutant material like oil debris, mostly representative pollutant material is oil debris, and composed with the nitrogen oxide. So we're gonna use this Bacillus stratosphericis, which is producing surfactant, into the level of our face to degrade our pollutant on the face, which is like a oil debris, or can be like a sebum, or any types of the pollutant can be degraded by using this their mechanism. This is showing the how surfactant is working for the gradation of the nitrogen oxide and the other types of the sulfuric acid and pollutant material, which is helping for our better condition of the face as well if we degrade this kind of the pollutant. Surely there's a good way of the this kind of the degradation, frankly to say. You can use some, like for example, if you use salicylic acid, it's also kind of another option to degrade this kind of the sebum and other types of pollutants. But in that case, it can kill good microbiomes and can be irritating. So that's why we have to choose the natural technology. And this is a very natural technology because it's the same method that microorganism has used to degrade that kind of the pollutant. And when we compare this concentration, by adding more concentration, we could see that if sebum can be degraded actually, practically, we see that shows about up to the 5%, it shows a very good result of the degradation of the sebum. And sebum reduction was highest with the 5% as well. So we set this time, we set a little higher concentration comparing with the other active. We set the concentration level with the 5% by checking this in vitro test. And also, you know, the reason why we degraded and decrease the sebum output is mainly because they are kind of the one of the main lesion of the inflammation, named acne. So we also checked if this can be helpful for the inhibition of the Cutibacterium acne. And it shows about from 2% already shows a good inhibition effect for the Cutibacterium acne. So by inhibiting the microorganism, like some bacterial microorganism, which is the Cutibacterium acne, and also source of their growth, which is the sebum. By inhibiting the both, we can protect, inhibit the acne growth. So it can be very anti-inflammatory effect by using this Stratocare. And we go into the clinical test with the 24 females during the 4 weeks by using 5%, as I explained before. And it shows about 30% of the sebum output reduction, comparing with the placebo, which shows about 6% reduction of the sebum. So from the left side and right side, we compared it, and it was about 25% of the reduction difference for the sebum output. So yes, it's truly inhibiting the sebum, and it is degrading the sebum. And this is showing the result about the sebum output, which is can be expressed in the red color. This red color is showing the sebum output, and you can see the right side after using Stratocare. The red color is getting a little darker, means sebum output has been decreased. So same result with the pictures. And the good thing, like I explained, is that it's not like a salicylic acid. So there's no irritation at all. Before and after, you know, salicylic acid is very efficient, but there's sometimes for the sensitive skin, it is giving the burning feeling and the irritation issue. But this one with the 24 hours of fetch test, we checked that there's no irritation at all. It's a natural ingredient produced by microorganism. So that's very safe to use. We apply the patent by using this cosmetic composition for the elevation of the sebum, comprising Bacillus stratospericus, and that's also Labio is the first company to use this Bacillus stratospericus into skincare. And also we published the journal in K-Beauty Science in last year already. This one is a microorganism which is registered in Bacillus ferment in Inky name, which is extracted with the 2,3-butanediol, which is a natural solvent, and preserved with the hexanediol. And we made the encapsulation of this surfactant, which is measured over 80 ppm for every production lot. We measure them and specify them into the production. And encapsulated with the lecithin, we are trying to use this sky cleaner, the skin cleaner. That's our target.
Thanks, Curtis. Thanks for showing us the new ingredient. And, come vedete, Statoker è il nuovo ingrediente, come avete visto, molto particolare perché appunto proviene da Extremofilo, dal Bacillus stratospherics, però ha come target una nuova frontiera, la trouble skin care, quindi specifico per il controllo del sebo. E anche qui, grazie al processo di fermentazione, quello che ci diceva Curtis, che alla fine abbiamo un ingrediente che è anche molto safe, molto sicuro per la cute e quindi trova molto beneficio anche una pelle infiammata, come può essere una pelle a tendenza acneica, grazie all'utilizzo di ingredienti come Stratoker, che vedete tra l'altro anche questa presenza in concentrazione di surfattina, che è appunto il metabolita che agisce come tensioattiva naturale, che serve proprio per rimuovere efficacemente il sebo. Percentuale di utilizzo appunto 2-5% e può essere utilizzato, come vedete, in tutte le tipologie di prodotto, dalle creme ai tonici alle ampolle. Ok, noi abbiamo praticamente terminato. Qui avete il summary degli ingredienti estremofili che abbiamo presentato oggi, che ha presentato oggi Curtis e che fanno parte del portfolio della Labio. Come sapete, come molti di voi sapranno, Labio come pioniere della fermentazione appunto ha a portfolio tanti ingredienti fermentati, per esempio i ferment oil, che sono sempre di più, proprio grazie al fatto che sono sempre più richiesti, perché ormai la fermentazione è conosciuta anche dal consumatore finale, i benefici della fermentazione, e noi qua in questa sede ovviamente vi abbiamo presentato i prodotti che derivano dagli estremofili e vi ricordo che fino alla fine del webinar potete scaricare la brochure aggiornata di tutti i prodotti di Labio. E vi aspettiamo al prossimo Making Cosmetics, scusate, in quanto sarà presente con noi anche Curtis al nostro stand 524, e se volete già prendere degli appuntamenti con Curtis o con noi, con gli altri nostri fornitori, potete già scriverci, visto che stiamo organizzando questi incontri personalizzati di circa 15 minuti di durata. Thank you very much, Curtis, for organizing the webinar with me today. Thanks for your time and support. And we wait you to our stand in Making Cosmetics show.
See you in Milano.
Ok, yes. Sure. Grazie a tutti per l'attenzione, come sempre numerosi i nostri webinar. Per qualsiasi informazione scrivetemi a giorgia.balbis@activebox.it. Grazie ancora e una buona giornata. Bye bye Curtis.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you.